Now, in returning to the Los Angeles County Museum and the Masterworks therein, we have really a lot of sculpture and a lot of paintings to talk about. But three of the earlier paintings and the thematically similar, we have three wrathful deities, and one of them is quite well known. It's really quite well published, documented, and loaned, and been in exhibitions. And that's a Vajrabhairava, and all three of these paintings are 15th century, possibly early 15th, possibly. But the Vajrabhairava is the first one in order here, and it has three stacked faces. So this sort of predates the popularity of the Gelugpa version with the round faces, the faces circling the main face, rather than being stacked on top, 9 faces stacked in threes above the other, one above the other. So this painting just has a tremendous sense of body and movement, and it's very dynamic. The head is tilted quite severely to the left side, quite dramatically to the left side, and the arms are really splayed out to the right and left, and they overlap each other as well. And then the legs are also not static, but appear to have movement, and they appear to have different positions rather than one leg layered over the other. At the top, there's a register with the lineage, and at the bottom we have a register with the secondary figures from the Vajrabhairava mandala. And surrounding the flames, outside of the bright red flames that frame the entire central figure of Vajrabhairava, we have small narrative vignettes of the 8 great cemeteries that relate to Vajrabhairava. So this is truly a masterwork. And this and the mandala that we will talk about later, that you can find in the Asian Art Museum, San Francisco, these two paintings, the figure of Vajrabhairava in Los Angeles County Museum, and then the mandala in the Asian Art Museum, San Francisco, these stand above most other Vajrabhairava paintings in the world, are two of the greatest pieces depicting this subject of Vajrabhairava. Now, the second piece is just absolutely fascinating from the point of view of iconography. Again, it's early. It's a one-face, 6-armed Mahakala, and in the flames around the head of the Mahakala, central figure Mahakala, we have the 5 Buddhas, of 5 symbolic Buddhas of the 5 Buddha families, but they're also in the unique iconographic forms associated with the one-face, 6-armed Mahakala, which is different from other systems. It's really unique only to the Shadbhuja Mahakala. But also with this, we find that there are other secondary figures. We have kind of a loose register at the top. We have a few different Mahakala figures at the top, and then we have some more worldly deities, retinue figures along the sides, and then some more deities at the bottom. And what's interesting is this is one of the earliest paintings in existence that shows other forms of the one-face, 6-armed Mahakala, such as the white, the green, the red, possibly the yellow if we look closely. And this is coming out of what appears to be coming out of the Shalu monastery system, because of the unique combination of iconographic forms are more of a signature of Shalu monastery, rather than it being identified later as being Gelugpa or other. Now, the third painting is of Panjanata Mahakala, and it is following a Nepalese style. Actually, all three are basically following a Nepalese style rather than an early Indian style in Tibet, or a later uniquely Tibetan style such as Menri or Khenri. We're not there yet. We're still really following Indian or West Tibet Kashmir or Nepali style. So these three paintings are more in Nepali style. And the Panjanata is done by a Newar artist, but for a Tibetan client. The iconographic program is completely Tibetan and completely belongs to the Sakya school. The Vajrabhairava, the first painting we looked at, is also Sakya, and of course Shalu comes under the umbrella of Sakya as well. So these are uniquely Sakya iconographic forms. Although the six-arm Mahakala, of course, comes out of the Shangpa Kagyu system, but the primary practitioners, once the Shangpa Kagyu tradition began to dissipate, it primarily went into the Jonang, the Shalu, and then the Chaksam system of Tongtong Gyalpo. And then, of course, the Chaksam became dissipated as well. And the Jonang also became very dissipated. So primarily the Shangpa tradition survives in the other Kagyu, Gelug, and Sakya traditions to various degrees. But the Panjanata is in a Nepalese style, registers at the top and bottom, and completely Nepalese, but also completely in a Tibetan iconographic program, which is kind of fun to see sometimes. So these are three of the greatest masterworks of the Los Angeles County Museum that are early works. So these are 15th century and spectacular, beautiful, iconographically important, and in relatively good condition when we look at their age. So you can press like, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon. HAR on Patreon is where we actually raise funds to keep Himalayan art resources advertisement free and free of charge, and keeping the lights on and keeping the bills paid. It's HAR on Patreon is where we try and get you, the visitor, if you're interested enough to help Himalayan Art Resources fund itself, because we have no corporate funding. We have no way of making money ourselves. We do not sell any products. We are an educational resource. So you can also make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.